I'm hoping to do a video and put it up either tomorrow or day after. Script's mostly done for it. But it's generally talking about how in modern society, there are a lot of things that are pretty bad, awful. And what's really interesting, and this is not something I touched on in the script because it's not the major component, is that there's a very overarching consensus of things being bad. Like, people generally will agree that the cost of living within the United States and California especially is pretty ridiculous, particularly the cost of housing. But there are disagreements in terms of how to address it. Some people would actually sit there and pay out damn near their whole check every month just to sit in one of these little, one bedroom boxes. Other people would get, a roommate and they cut it in half. And in the most extreme cases, what has been seen in more recent times, that you have homeless people who have jobs. And I talked about how it's crazy that from their vantage point, it makes sense. They say, hey, I've got all these other bills to pay for. Why would I go and try to live somewhere, that's stable if I have to worry about all these other things that are going to be, overarching as well. Just, it's a really interesting just debate in terms of how right they are for doing it. Just, I see their perspective is what I'm getting at. But yeah, that's part of it. And it's one of those things where, when I get disillusioned or just dissatisfied with the way things are going, it tends to never be just one thing by itself. I talked about in a few times in the past just how difficult it was to get a job, and how I was so excited when I first started working for the place I'm with. And I go into detail of how month by month, not, first few months, right, were nice, but month by month, it was like there was some new twist to make having that job just utterly meaningless. Like, to where you start off and you can find, maybe there's two things you don't like, but you like all the other stuff, right? You get this, you get that, you get this. And then it's, 1 month of being in there, you like it. 2 months of it being in there, you like it. 3 months of being in there, you like it. Oh, here's this new problem. 4 months, you're kind of getting annoyed because they're doing this thing, but you still mostly like it. And then it just keeps going and going. It's like an infection. It just spreads and gets more and more contaminating to where you don't even, but like now I just clock in and I just roll my eyes because there is nothing to look forward to. Even a little bit of money you get, again, still means nothing, right? Because of how little they use you to begin with. And then I talked about how there was the whole arc of trying to get a job, or another job, excuse me. And that I never start that process just disillusioned. What tends to happen is that I'll work at getting one, just applying for different stuff, and then nothing will happen. Like, just you won't see any type of progress or sign of stuff going somewhere. So you'll sit there and you'll go, you know what, this is stupid. And that's when you'll get to the point of view of like, yeah, this is not going to go anywhere. And that's exactly what happened when I started seriously looking for something at the end of October. I said, okay, I got to apply for probably this many number of places, but besides that, I should be fine. And lo and behold, after 4, 5, 6 weeks of just the same old repetitive crap, I said, yeah, there's no path forward with this stuff. So yeah, I like the video. I'm going to try to finish it this week. But this is an international nightmare. Like the housing stuff is, the cost of living, it's in other countries as well, but most especially here. But when you start getting into the way people act and behave, it knows no borders.